Hello again, everyone. Hope you're well on this Friday afternoon. The sun came back out, 90 degrees in the classic city of Athens, Georgia. Got some humidity layered in there, so feels pretty much like a summer day, even though we're right in the middle of May. But, they say we're supposed to have another cold snap or cool snap here pretty soon. Hey, bring it on. Bring it on. Any cold snap, cool snap they want to bring in here, generate, however they do it. Hey, I'm for it because, in another few weeks, probably I'll be complaining about it being 100 out here. 100 and 100% humidity. So that's coming, I'm sure. It's going to be a hot summer. Several things to cover here. What we really need to make a priority of two priorities to be preparing for. Also, well, you can really say three, but I'm going to focus really on one. And then we have a situation. The president of this United States is in mortal danger. And I mean, you could say, well, dog, anybody who's president is always in danger. Yes, they are. There are probably attempts that, not just Trump, any president, that we never hear about, we will never hear about. But this one, the current one, definitely is in, I would say, imminent mortal danger. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned for the man's safety. I really am. And not just him, it's those around him. It's those around him. So they probably are doing this, but they probably shouldn't have too many meetings to where he and the vice president are sitting close or standing close together. Okay? Just saying. Or the Secretary of Defense. I know they had cabinet meetings, and they're all together, man. They're all together. It's wild. Anyway, that kind of freaks me out a little bit. It gets me concerned. So I'll go more into that a little bit of why I think that's really, especially after the antics of what we found out yesterday or last night, y'all. So I'll talk about that. I have a terrific passage. I have two passages I'm going to share with you from the Bible. From the Old Testament. I'm going to Old Testament on you today. So stay tuned for that. One is a real classic, and I tell you, I could read it every day, and it'll make your day better. All right. So first thing, I think that I haven't noticed food price. I hear different things. Just to recap what I've really noticed this week. For sale signs, a lot more for sale signs on homes everywhere. That's changing quickly. We also, food prices. I haven't noticed anything coming down, really. Nothing coming down. I know, and gasoline went back up about $3, right at $3 a gallon. And I know, after the last 4 years, we're going to give it more time. It takes time to turn it around. I'm going to stay I'm going to stay cautiously optimistic. Wait and see right now. I'm still going to do that. That's the way I'm looking at it. Let's see what else. Store up on meat, on your protein, stack on that. The main thing that I was referring to a while ago, as far as to prepare for, is really look at. We talk about stacking your food and water and all that. And that's good. But look at your preps related to getting through a long-term power outage, okay? And I'm just saying, get a flashlight, some candles. That's cool. But what do you have ready, or what are you prepared to do if and when the lights go out longer than 24 to 48 hours? Now, if you live in hurricane areas and, when hurricanes have come through and all that, and people go weeks without it, Western North Carolina, and when all that happened last year, and it could be weeks. And even in those areas, you heard of looting and the crime and just random stuff happening and people having to defend themselves. I would say after about 24, 48 hours, y'all, depending on where you are, the SHTF would fly. And I think it would speed up. I think it would happen so fast, y'all. I really do. So what do you have ready in your home to get through a power outage, at least short term? Long term, what are you going to do? You need to think about long term. Am I gonna hunker down still where I'm at, or am I gonna make a run for it somewhere else? Am I gonna bug out somewhere else? Do I have a place to bug out to? And the key thing there is, if you decide you're gonna leave, you've got to leave. You got a window of time to leave before things really get wild. You know, like, and that decision would have to be made fairly fast before a lot of people, the majority of the people, realize they're not coming on. The lights aren't coming on anytime soon, and all hell has broken loose. You're not going to get very far at that point unless you're walking, and then that's even more dangerous. So you're going to have to make a decision whether, if it's something you're going to bug out to, go somewhere else. Do you have that already ready? Do you have bags? Do you have something, a plan? Do you have a plan? Or if you're just going to stay put and hunker down, what are you ready for that? Are you fairly prepared? You know, so what's your situation around you, your neighbors and such. So be thinking about that, what you have available. You know, there's a lot to think about, but I just have a bad feeling. These little power outages are happening so often where we live, even, that here lately it's just almost daily. It's like they happen during the day, and we come home, or we go shopping, or we go out and run an errand or something. We come back, we have to reset our clocks. We don't know how long the power was out. I don't know. The dogs can't really tell us. And it's a sunny, bright day. There's no storm, but the lights went out. I mean, it's just random, where they flicker a bunch of times. Why? There's no explanation from the utilities and all. They ain't gonna say. They don't say. What's up with that? It's not like it's 100 degrees already. It's not that. There's barely wind. There's no high winds or anything like that. So prepare. All right. The man's in mortal danger. I'm serious. I was thinking about this last night, hearing about this dude, this former FBI director, Comey. Dude's got some issues. He's got more issues than we'll ever know. But, made this post, if you haven't heard already, you probably have, but made a post on social media where he put, he says he came across the numbers 8647. Now think about that, 8647. He formed those numbers with seashells on the beach. He said, I just came up on this. How about this? And made a post out of it. Snarky. He since has taken it down and saying, I didn't mean anything, blah, 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 blah. 8647. Well, we know 86 is to get rid of, to discard the 47th president. Hello, that's not hard to figure out. And he's like, I didn't realize. He realized it. I just came upon this. Somebody else did this, and I just took a picture of it. Well, I don't buy that. Of course, we don't buy that. Now, he's not exactly a Trump lover, right? By the way, I pointed out stuff I don't like about him. I point out stuff I like about him. When he does something good, I talk about it. I have pointed out things that I don't agree with. That's how I see it. I cannot figure out, unless this demon possessed, this complete hatred for this man. I mean, the man could literally cure cancer, and they'd want to put him 6 feet under. I for the life of me, I do not understand that. I do not understand it, y'all. The hate for this guy. I mean, it is something else. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. It's quite something. I will never understand it. I will never understand it. Anyway, so they're just out in the open like, we got to get rid of this guy. Okay, so what do we do about that? So what we're hearing now is that the FBI, Kash Patel came out and said, we're going to let the Secret Service take the lead on this. We will support because Secret Service is in charge of the president's security, right? So they're under this guy Comey is under investigation. The Secret Service is probing this. Why ain't he arrested already? Why ain't he hauled in and questioned? So I'm just going to say, I don't think anything's going to happen. I know that sounds pessimistic. I don't think a thing is going to happen. It's just going to roll out. Next news story will take over. But what this does, y'all, so you know what this does? It's going to continue until they are successful or try another attempt. I don't understand this. That's a clear threat. How much clearer can you get other than just, coming out and saying it more plain English? But come on. Come on now. Why is this guy not in handcuffs? Why is he not detained? And make it public. Perp walk him. Or do something. Do something. The same with a mob attacking ICE agents in public. It makes me think of, now this happened some years ago, before 2020, I think, when I saw a video of New York City, some cops being intimidated by a crowd of people in New York City. I forgot where it was in New York City. They're trying to take care of a situation, and they just toss water on these cops and just cuss them and just intimidate them. And the cops looked scared and they walked away. When I saw that, and that was before 2020 crap, I knew right then, we're in deep trouble. Okay? Deep trouble. Because that got flashed around a lot on the media. All right, what do you think that does? If a situation like that is not rectified right then and right there, what happens? It gets worse, of course. This is what, I know this might not be a great analogy, but this is what it makes me think of. How can they not do anything about this? Now, I might be speaking too soon and they prove me wrong. I hope they do prove me wrong, but I don't think anything's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Why? Now, my next thought is that, the FBI, no matter who's in charge, FBI, CIA, what have you, Secret Service, I believe there's so many bad people deeply embedded in these places, man, that I don't know. I don't know if they could ever get, clean house or not. I don't know if they ever will, ever can. Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest, y'all. I was watching all this last night, and this story, the 86-47 story, was coming out, the shells and all that in the sand. After the video I made last night, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. All right, I'm going to go to a passage because I'm getting myself worked up here. All right, calm myself down with some Bible reading. All right. First one I'm going to go in is, let's see, Psalm, these are both Psalm, but Psalm 19. Psalm 19 verse 1 says, "The heavens tell the glory of God, and their expanse declares the work of his hands." Amen. This world has gone bonkers, y'all. It's been bonkers. But it's been absolute Twilight Zone on steroids, y'all, for a while now. But even with that, God is still in control. God is sovereign. He made this. Go out and look at the sky. Go out and look at the greenery around here. He made that possible. He spoke this all into existence. He made you and I. He made you and I for these times as well. His ways are not our ways, that's for sure. And then, of course, I'm going to read the first part of Psalm 91, which can always make you feel better. Psalm 91, the first little part of it. One who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will lodge in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. For it is he who rescues you from the net of the trapper and from the deadly plague. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you may take refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and a wall. Take refuge under his wings. Let's keep running to him. And running to and staying close to Jesus. That's the key, y'all. It's the number one prep. Number one. Everything else pales in comparison, man. We can do all the other prepping, but we got to have that one, number one. All right, share your thoughts. Going into a weekend, let's be safe, let's be careful. God bless y'all. I'll see you soon.